Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today I wanted to continue a series that I've been putting out where I'm looking at some of the popular endgame uniques, what makes them good, and how you go about getting them. And today I want to talk about Void Battery. Now, fair warning, if you're a solo self-found player, I'm not going to have much advice on how to acquire Void Battery. It's a weapon that's commonly used in pairs, it's a global drop anywhere unique, and it's at the rarest tier of drop anywhere uniques. But unlike Chevron's Wrappings, which is in the same category, Void Battery has no divination cards. Really, your only chance to acquire this item in solo self-found is through extreme luck. Whether that be drop luck or whether that be chance orb luck, you're going to need a lot of luck to get this item, especially to get two of them. However, that said, I want to talk about why it's good, how you might use it, and in particular, some of the things that were changed with the item in Heist League that can be ridiculously powerful. So, firstly, what are the stats on Void Battery? We're looking at an implicit modifier that boosts spell damage, 36 to 40%. So if you were going to use this item, you would always bless that up to 40%. Then we have this monumental drawback, 80% reduced spell damage. Now, it's one of those things in Path of Exile in general, that reduced and increased, all of these mods add up together, and then you apply it as one multiplier. So what this means is that between let's assume that it was 40% increased spell damage and 80% reduced, those two add up and become 40% reduced. But on your passive tree, you might have 125% increased spell damage. And then there's a mod near the end that's going to give you a lot of more spell damage as well. So 80% reduced spell damage doesn't divide all your damage by 5. It is a big drawback, but ultimately what it really means is that you have the benefits of 3.2 less power charges when we come to that last line. So it has a wide range, 12% on my wand, but it's a 10 to 20% increased cast speed. Now, if you're going to actually use this item, you want to divine this to be perfect. If you don't have enough divine orbs, at the very least, divine it so that it's 18, 19, or 20. And if you don't have enough divine orbs, you can farm Tabula Rasa, which will vendor for a divine because it's a 6-link. It then has a bunch of critical strike chance, which is always nice to have, but not really all that important because we're going to be, and you'll see why in a sec, we're going to be using this on an assassin. There's some mana, which is always a nice bonus, and then we have the power charge synergies. These are the things that make the item. These are the reasons you want this item. So, +1 to maximum power charges. This is really hard to get. Increasing your maximum charges is something that's not available on very many items. There's only a small number of unique items that grant this bonus. And additionally, in addition to all of the inherent benefits of having more power charges, you then have this incredible line, 25% increased spell damage per power charge. So I've done the numbers on this so you don't have to. Just counting the 80% reduced and the 25% increased, if you are an assassin that is dual wielding this prophecy wand and that has taken all 3 of the power charge nodes on the tree, so those power charge nodes are, there's one over here somewhere, infused, there's one up here somewhere, instability, and there's one over here somewhere, overcharge. If you have those 3 nodes, you have the Assassin's Unstable Infusion, granting you a 4th bonus power charge. You have the 3 you have natively, and you have 2 copies of Void Battery. You're going to be at 9 maximum power charges, which means that you're getting 225% increased from the last line, with an 80% reduction and a 40% increase from the implicit. All told, this 185% increased spell damage. That is a lot, and that's why Void Battery is good. So what changed with this item in the Heist League? What changed was the addition of weapon enchants. So when you run a grand heist, there is a possibility that your curio room will contain enchanted weapons and armor. These enchanted weapons and armor can have various mods such as, the most important one for Void Battery is +6, 8, 10, 12, or +6, 8, 10, or 15% to the effectiveness of caster modifiers. If you get this in conjunction with 6% caster modifiers, it will have another significant bonus. If you get it in conjunction with 8 or 10%, it'll have a very, very small bonus, like all sockets are white for 8%, or one socket is white for 10%. And if you get it on a 15% one, it will have a pretty significant drawback. The 2 possible drawbacks are this item has no sockets, or this item's stat requirements are tripled. And obviously tripling the stat requirements from 245 to 735 is no laughing matter. However, 15% increased effect of caster mods affects all of these stats. It affects the implicit and the 80% reduction. It affects the cast speed buff, so instead of 20%, you'll have 23%, and it affects the 25% increased spell damage per power charge, raising that to a monumental 28%. So that's become possible throughout the Heist League, and that means that if you're playing in a trade league, you can get some truly magnificent Void Batteries these days. I have posted an image of one that is existing in the that exists in the Heist League, where someone has taken a Prophecy Wand that has the 15% increased effective caster modifiers enchant on it. They have applied a Crusader's Exalted Orb just in order to make the item a Crusader item. That didn't provide any additional benefits to it. They've then used an Awakener's Orb to add Shaper influence to it, and that has synergies with items like the Eternity Shroud, this armor that I'm wearing here. It's otherwise not important, but it does also make the item look really nice. And then they have either used Chance Orbs and Scouring Orbs, or Chance Orbs and the very, 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 very rare Trash to Treasure Prophecy, and that has allowed them to deterministically turn this Prophecy Wand that they've prepared into a Void Battery. And that's the thing that changed in this league. This was already a magnificent item, and one that has been good for a very long time, but it got even better in the Heist League. In terms of items you might want to use in conjunction with Void Battery, first option is indeed the Eternity Shroud, which I mentioned there. This is a build-around item. This is going to get its own video eventually. I haven't planned it yet, but it will be coming. And it does have quite a bit of synergy with Void Battery potentially, just because you've got so much damage that you're doing, converting that multiple ways. There's lots of ways that you can scale that. But for more direct synergies, a Warlord influenced helmet can roll an explicit mod of +1 to maximum power charges. Obviously, that's going to take the power of Void Battery even further. Additionally, any helmet can roll a Vaal implicit mod from Corruption of +1 to maximum power charges. So it's possible even on your helmet to get +2 to maximum power charges. Needless to say, that's a lot of extra damage that you'll get if you can get your hands on a +2 power charge helmet. Then there's the Unique Ring Precursor's Emblem, which is largely forgotten about by a lot of players. It comes out of Delve, but it's very tricky to get your hands on. It requires killing all the Crystal King, and even then, it's an item that has as much variance in it as a lot of the other items like Watcher's Eye that are super high variance. However, if you were to get Precursor's Emblems with +1 maximum power charge, that will take Void Battery scaling even further. That's all I got on this one. If you've got any comments or questions, fire away below. But this is just a very simple, pure power item. No way to deterministically farm it other than just chancing every Prophecy Wand that you come across and hoping for lucky drops. Or, if you're in a trade league, simply ponying up a few exalts to another player that's had that luck on your behalf. Let their luck become yours. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next one.